Go ahead.
Good?
Go ahead.
Am I ready?
Yes.
Hi, yes, this is LaQueen Terry Battle here from New York City one of the greatest cities in the world here in New York State, New York City, a town of about 10 to 15 to 20 million residents here in downtown Manhattan, downtown New York. I'm here in New York City, the City Hall with Mayor Bill Blasio. And pretty much just go ahead and give you guys a couple of updates. And again, just shout out to all my family and friends back home in Texas, in Florida, Los Angeles, and Southside Chicago, as well as to all my military family and friends. Shout out to my brother, Lakeith Jemiah Harris, currently serving in the United States Marine Corps. Hoorah! Also to my uncle, Nancy Clay, who has given his service to the United States National Guard, and his sons are currently serving in the United States Navy. And also shout out to my aunt Darlene Mercer, who is currently serving, who has given her service to the United States Army. My uncle, who's given him my grandfather, who has given his service to the United States Army, and all my military friends and family who have given their service and their duty and their call, and those who have also given their lives for this country. So thank you again to our military family and friends and all the POWs out there. And also happy St. Patrick's Day. And it is 6:30, about 7 o'clock here in downtown Manhattan. We're going to go ahead and do a couple of updates on the CDC. Mayor Bill Blasio has had a couple of press conferences, as well as with Governor Andrew Cuomo, have done some both together briefings in Albany, the capital, and also here in New York City. And so pretty much what they're trying to do a tri-city joint first with here, New York, New Jersey, and also I think as well as Massachusetts and Pennsylvania. They're trying to work together as a couple of cities. It's called the Tri-City Task Force to go ahead and combat this coronavirus, to try to isolate it and try to pretty much put it together, pretty much conserve as much energy and power into this and isolate the problem from the people. So pretty much they're trying to go ahead and do a couple of task force, some joint committee meetings, as well as with a current president, Commander-in-Chief Donald Trump, who has his own Corona task force in Washington, D.C. right now. And I'm very happy to see Vice President Mike Pence doing that as well. So shout out to the Joint Force Task Force and with the coronavirus epidemic in Washington, D.C., here in New York and Albany, and also around the world. And so I have some friends here. How you doing? Would you like to be my video? My YouTube video?
No, that's all right.
Okay, good. They're out here having fun here in New York City. And pretty much, I'm just going to go over a couple of things right here. Again, shout out to all my YouTube friends, my family. This is LaQueen Terry Battle. I am a certified medical assistant phlebotomist. I have 3 degrees, 1 degree in medical assisting from Houston, and 2 degrees in Spanish and linguistics from Chicago and Indiana. Hablo español y la otra idiomas. So, again, shout out to St. Patrick's Day. And here I'm going to go over a couple brief statistics. Right now, the CDC has said that they're constantly updating, doing more cases. So far, I think in New York City, there are 30. I really did touch base with it, but there are, I think, under 100 confirmed cases of people that have actually been infected with coronavirus here in New York City. So the number right now of confirmed cases is under 100, but they have patients all around who have been exposed to people. I think the number right now is 1,300. So it's really good to check with the CDC every single day, as well as with the World Health Organization and the National Institutes of Health, to pretty much always get your updated briefings, what's going on, and also what can you and your family and your friends and those close around you do to combat this illness. Now, the coronavirus is not just your seasonal illness, it's not just your seasonal flu, it's more, the corona is actually a combination of illnesses. That's why I call it corona. And so here, what they're actually doing with the term now, they're calling it a novice coronavirus. So they call it a novice coronavirus, which really means it's a new virus that has not been seen before in the world. And so pretty much you have this corona of illnesses like the swine flu, the chicken flu, and all these illnesses from the past have now, that we thought were dormant, have now become alive. And so pretty much what they're trying to do is figure out, okay, is there a vaccine for this? Is there a medicine for this? What can we do? Can we protect the people? Is it in the air? Is it being transmitted from people coming from different countries? What can we do as city officials, as state officials, and as government officials to best protect the people? And of course, it's going to be mandatory curfews. Of course, it's going to be government shutdown. Of course, it's going to be businesses and federal going to be shut down. But there are different things that the government is suggesting, like social distancing, when you don't go out to big events. You just pretty much keep yourself in the home with your family and friends, your close knit of friends that you're exposed to, or on a permanent basis. Those you live around on a permanent basis, isolate yourself from in that. Just keeping it to your close knit family. Also, you can pretty much practice if you are a busy professional. If you have to get out in the neighborhood, if you have to get on the streets, the best thing for you to do is, of course, keep yourself drinking plenty of fluids, scarves, blankets, anything you can to protect your physical body, as well as drink fluids, water. Check to see if your vaccines are up to date, and also have a brief, quick physical with your doctor. Ask your doctor if you can be tested for this coronavirus. I just pretty much just go to your doctor to have a quick physical, have a quick checkup. Say, doctor, am I okay? Is this coronavirus going to affect me? And then, as well as if you have any predisposition to a viral illness, if you had pneumonia in the past, if you're over 65 years old, male or female, if you are pregnant, even if you're about 6 weeks and up pregnant, please go to a doctor. Please get checked, because you don't want to affect the life of yourself as well as your unborn child. So it's good. Any predisposition, as well as children under the age of 16 and 12 to 16. So if you have young children in your care, whether they're infants or they're toddlers, or if they're under the age of about 8 to 10, as well as teenagers, please make sure they're protected and cared for. But if you are a very busy professional, Wall Street, sales, if you're in the medical field, the best thing, and my suggestion, it would just be stick to a schedule. Stick to a schedule. You have to go to work, do that schedule, come back home. If you have to go out and get groceries, if you have to go out and do your laundry, go out and get some groceries. But if you want to eat, if you want to still enjoy food at a restaurant, order in. That's a great idea. It's not bad to order in, but still you can still enjoy the same food at home. Or you can do a cookout in your neighborhood. There's different things you can do while not being exposed to the illness that's on the streets in big cities like this, in New York City, where there's over 10 to 20 million people at most, as well as in small cities like New Orleans or Pensacola, Florida, or even in Oakland, California, San Francisco, California, which are still big cities in itself that are composed of small knit communities. It's best for busy professionals as well as busy students, busy people at the same time, to stick to a schedule. You have to wake up, you have to go to work, you have to buy some groceries, you have to go to church. You can still go to church, but still stick to a schedule. That's the very best thing to do. Also, there might be mandatory curfews. There might be, government shutdowns. There might be mandatory curfews in your city. So always check with your local city government as well as your state government, and also what's going on with the White House. Every single day, Trump, as well as local governments, a lot of governors are having daily press briefings. Governor in New Jersey, governor in California, governor in Illinois, governor in Texas. And they're all over having daily press briefings with their constituents, with their people, letting them know how is this coronavirus going to affect us and what can we do about it as a state, and make this together as a whole. And of course, it is 2020. There's a lot of things going on. We have presidential elections. We have the U.S. Census, which is going on. But at the same time, one of the most infected states with the coronavirus is, of course, New York, as well as Seattle, the Seattle, Washington area, Washington State, California, as well as lower southern states like Florida, which has, I think, under 100 cases of people infected with the virus. So when you're thinking about places like California and Seattle, people think, oh, it's Washington State. Oh, that's just a regular state. But actually, Washington State is home, as well as Northern California is home of Silicon Valley. So there are many businesses, and these big corporations are also being affected by the coronavirus. And as you know, that Bill Gates, one of the founders of Microsoft, just resigned from his position as president of Microsoft. So we want to pay attention not only to the physical health of this coronavirus that's doing to the health of our country, but also to the markets, the stock markets. So I'm just going to go ahead and give you a list of some of the companies in the Seattle area that might have also been affected by the coronavirus. There's Boeing, which Boeing Nationals is one of the big airport manufacturers of the United States. Boeing is being affected by the coronavirus. You have Microsoft, which has over 42,000 employees that's been affected by the coronavirus. You have Amazon, which has over 25,000 employees in the Seattle area that's being affected by the coronavirus. And you have Walmart. Walmart also has a headquarters in the Seattle area, and that's also being affected by by the coronavirus. So you have all these big giants, big corporations, Boeing, Microsoft, Amazon, and Walmart, which is also affecting the stock market here in New York, which are headquartered in the Seattle, Washington area, as well as Silicon Valley in San Francisco. So it's best to pay attention to what's going on in your family as well as what's going on in business, because you might not think that the stock markets may not affect you, but in reality, they are affecting you and your job as well. So again, this is Queen Terry Battle. I'm very happy to be here as well. And again, it's great to practice social distancing. But the White House had a brief press conference about it today. What is social distancing? Pretty much it's distancing for yourself from any big events, as well as protecting yourself, sticking to a schedule, doing your very best to isolate yourself from any viral illnesses that is around. So again, for the people that are high risk people, over 65, elderly, as well as if you're pregnant 6 weeks and above, even 6 weeks pregnant, still you are at a very high risk for any viral illnesses, as well as children under the age of 10, infants, toddlers, and young kids. They are also at high risk for this viral illness. As well, other people that may be at high risk are those who have previous viral infections in the past, as well as respiratory infections, pneumonia. If you have had a predisposition to pneumonia, any kind of pneumonia, sporadic, any kind of pneumonia, that you are also at a predisposition for this coronavirus. So pneumonia, flu. If you had pneumonia or flu in the past, you also are at a high risk for this as well. And also, if you have any surgeries in the past, that's also another issue. Any kind of high risk surgeries, if you're going through any kind of cancer treatment, if you're going through any kind of dialysis treatment, if you're going through any kind of cancer treatment, you are also at a high risk for this coronavirus. So please ask your doctor, ask your specialist, whoever is treating you right now, the person that you speak with on a daily basis is treating you for your infections, for your illness. What can I do to protect myself from this viral illness, and what can I do to protect myself and my family? So any predisposition to cancer, to pneumonia, to flu, any past surgeries that you have had, please protect yourself as well as those of your loved ones around you. So this is the Queen Battle here from New York City Hall in New York City, Manhattan. There are a lot of things going on. Again, if you the most important symptoms that you have had with mostly that the CDC and the Department of Public Health is talking about for this coronavirus, the main symptoms are if you have a fever, a high fever over 99.9 or 101.1 degrees Fahrenheit, please go to the emergency room. As well as if you are having cough or difficulty breathing, which is also a symptom of pneumonia. It can also be a symptom of a regular cough or regular seasonal flu. But again, this coronavirus can lead to respiratory distress. This coronavirus can lead you to automatically shock. It can shock your body, it can shock your symptoms, and you may not be able to make it. If worse comes to worse, if the symptoms are unnoticed, if you are asymptomatic, which means you don't show any symptoms to this coronavirus, asymptomatic, if you're not showing any kind of symptoms at all, but you do have a predisposition to this illness, still please get checked. If you're having coughing, difficulty breathing, difficulty sleeping at night, heavy chest, heavy respirations, please go to the emergency room. Please speak to a specialist. Please go to an emergency clinic or emergency room, or call a doctor or a physician or a medical personnel, and please get checked. All right, so this is Queen Terry Battle here from New York City Hall and downtown Lower Manhattan. It's very good to be here. God is great. God is good. Again, shout out to all my military friends and family, as well as all my family and friends from Southside Chicago and Roseland, South Dallas, Houston, Fort Worth, Austin, all my family back in Texas, Los Angeles, Oakland area, to all my family, all my brothers and sisters in LA, as well as all my church family in Florida, the river at Tampa Bay, and Calvary Cathedral International, as well as the Potter's House in South Dallas, Texas, and IBOC, Pastor Ricky Rush. So this is the Queen Battle coming here from New York in front of City Hall, and I'm sure the mayor, Bill Blasio, is doing a great job with this city. I think I messed up his last name. But there's still a lot to do. This is a city of over 10, 15, 20 million people. You can't contain 10, 15 million people in 14 days. You can't do that. But the city has to use as many resources as it can, even the resources of the National Guard, the resources of the CDC and the NIH and the World Health Organization and the United Nations, and also international international governments to do their best they can, again, to contain this illness, contain this, and pretty much maybe a vaccine or try to medicate a population of over 10, 15 million people in 14 days. It's impossible. You can't do it. So the government, the local city government, as well as state officials are trying to do the very best they can to combat this illness, lower the symptoms, lower the risks, so that others can enjoy a lovely, lovely, successful 2020 presidential New Year. So again, this is LaQueen Terry Brown coming here from New York City, in front of New York City Hall. Thank you so much. God bless you. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And it's 6:30 here at night, and I'm glad to have you. God bless you guys. Peace and much love.